This is a production of Cornell University.
Hi everyone, my name is Kensy Rodriguez. I am a PhD student at Cornell University, and today I'm with Steve Reiners. He's a horticulture specialist, and today we will talk about harvesting cantaloupe. So Steve, we know that sometimes our cantaloupe can grow when we see them big, but we are not sure when is a good time to harvest. So can you explain us a little bit when can we harvest it to have the best ripe cantaloupe and with a good flavor?
Right. Cantaloupes and muskmelons are actually a lot easier than watermelons because they go through a stage that we call a slip stage. And what that means is they slip right off the vine when they're ripe. So this one's still a little bit early, but what you can do is you can just sort of pull on it a little bit. And when this is ready, and that means the sugar content is just going to be perfect, a little bit of pressure up here will pull the stem right from the vine, and then you know it's ready. But as you can see, this one's not coming off. It's still firmly attached, so all those photosynthates are still going in, and that's what we want. But it's much simpler. You will also notice the color will start to change. It usually goes from a darker green to a lighter green to almost a yellow. And some of that's variety as well. But again, it's the slip stage is what we're looking for.
I also heard that people talk about like pushing this part, and if it slip off like pretty easy, that's like a sign that it's ripe. Is that true? Like whenever you can push that?
I would think that would be better for determining ripeness on a fruit stand or in the market. Because if it's a little bit softer down here, that probably indicates that it's nice and ripe and will be good eating. If it's still firm down there, that means it was probably harvested too early. Okay.
And what happened if my fruit is ready and I just harvested, but I don't feel as sweet as I was expecting? What might be some causes for that? And is there anything that we can do to get it more sweet fruit in the next season, or even whenever these fruits is still in the plant?
Yeah, anything you can do to encourage good, healthy green leaves. So that means if you're losing leaves because of disease, that means you're losing photosynthesis, you're losing sugars. So make sure you keep the leaves as healthy as possible. That will be good for this year. And then, yeah, it's just a matter of keeping the plants as healthy as possible. Healthy plants, lots of photosynthesis, lots of sugars and other things going into that, and that's what we want.
Does heat affect the fruit, and do we need like as hot conditions as for watermelon, or you think they need lower temperatures?
A little bit lower temperatures. Probably watermelons are going to do better in the heat. But again, even with melons, once we start getting temperatures over 90 degrees during the day, that could have an impact as well on flavor. So we like to say, hot and dry, but hot, we're talking temperatures in the mid-80s is just perfect. Mid-80s, lots of sunshine, the right amount of moisture when it's needed. Not, again, as it's getting closer to ripening, you can pull back on that, but that's the key.
Are nutrients like potassium or any other nutrients on the soil can help with the flavor, or you think that's not something that will affect it?
That's a good question, because potassium is one. Now, most of the time we have pretty good levels of potassium in the soils, but the only way you're going to know that is if you soil test. And if your soil potassium levels are low, that can sometimes affect the flavor, not only of melons, but things like tomatoes and peppers and other things as well. So we want to make sure that our potassium levels are optimized, because that plays into photosynthesis and the sugar and the movement of sugar as well.
So now what are some of the things that can cause your cantaloupe to not be as sweet as you want it to be, but also what things you can do. And as well, today we'll learn about when is the right time to harvest cantaloupe. So if you have some cantaloupe and you can see all the things that we talk about here, is the right time to harvest and enjoy it.
This has been a production of Cornell University, on the web at cornell.edu.